I think we're ready to get rolling, and I would like to invite James Martin to come up to the podium and introduce our featured guest.
Thank you, Barta. Thank you, Barta. I met Gary through Erica, through Royal Pond Players, and upon meeting Gary, we found we had a lot in common, fishing and hunting and outdoors. So we became instant friends. I referred to, someone asked, are we related? No, not actually. We're brothers from different mothers. But we're very close, very good friends, and it's nice to have that relationship. You know, this is the great adventures of Gary Martin. And you got to ask, is this guy really real or not? But I got to share with you a few stories as an introduction. You know, you're probably going to see a slide or two of Gary and I. We fished together, we've hunted together, we fished together in Argentina, here, Michigan, Idaho, Wyoming. We've hunted together in Florida and also in Montana. But what you're not going to hear Gary say is that 5.5 weeks before we were out in Montana to bird hunt, he had a knee replacement. Or you're not going to hear him say that on the morning of our first hunt, there was 7 inches of fresh snow as we're walking 7 to 17 miles a day across these fields, stumbling because we can't see where we're going. You're not going to hear Gary say that he took a bad fall, and upon falling, he twisted his new knee that he had replaced and broke a rib. He was in such pain that the guide and I thought he was having a heart attack. So upon removing the shotgun from underneath him very carefully, the guide started running to get a cell phone signal to call 911. And I'm sitting there comforting Gary thinking, oh my God, he's going to die right here in front of me. What am I going to say to Erica? So all of a sudden, Gary pops up and says, okay, I think I'm fine now. So I whistle, we bring the guide back. Gary proceeded to hunt the entire day and the week with a cracked rib and wrenching his knee. What you're not going to hear Gary say is that beautiful photograph of the golden Dorado, I got no credit. I took that photograph. So I just want you to know, what a great photograph, right? Yes, thank you, thank you. And what you're not going to hear Gary say is that that's a 33-pound golden Dorado. Not only was the biggest fish of the entire week, it was the biggest fish of the entire season. It's an absolutely stunningly beautiful fish. We're fishing with 8 weights, and I call it equivalent of, we're casting maybe 1,000 times a day for these fish. And we're casting with long streamers that I call wet squirrels because it's heavy, and 1,000 times a day. Gary's not going to tell you this, but no matter how big a fish I caught, if I caught a 25-pounder, he caught a 28-pounder. If I caught a 30-pounder, he caught a 33-pounder, just every time. He's probably not going to tell you either that no matter how far I was learning to cast with these flying squirrels and how beautiful the presentation was, he was casting 10 or 15 yards longer. His presentation was better. It's remarkable seeing the man with a fly rod or a shotgun in his hands. It's a work of art. So without any other delay, I'm going to bring forward Gary to talk about the great adventures of Gary Martin.